Aloha, this is Matt, and you're watching Life in Paradise on YouTube. Hello everybody, this is Matt. Thank you for joining me on my show today. This is a special that we're doing, my responses to all of your comments on the Super Ferry. I'd like to send a special thank you to some of you, Doubler143. Thank you for sending all these people our way to watch the show. For those of you who don't like what you hear on my show, now you know who to blame. Now also, they're two passionate people that have been sending a lot of comments over here. One of them is Momi Shells and the other is Ko Manao. Thank you very much for your comments. I'd like to also send a special thank you to some joker out there who said that I leave a footprint like a whale. Yes, thank you for stating the opposite, the obvious. I am fat. Now, I've been reading all of your comments, and there seems to be a lot of fear. I understand your fear. I understand your passion. But a lot of your fears have been realized already on your islands, and this is before we even ran the Super Ferry. Okay, you talk about urban sprawl, you talk about the criminal element coming to your island. You've even told stories about the rocks that were found in the back of those 3 pickup trucks. Somebody sent me an email stating things about people being able to rob your houses, and you're a place where you used to leave the door, you leave the doors unlocked and such. Yeah, I grew up in a neighborhood like that, right out there in Kailua. I understand all of your concerns and all of your fears. I want to take them step by step. Now, first of all, as I stated in the first show, that whales do leave a footprint when they breach. The whales do know how to avoid ships. They do it a lot. That's why it takes so long to see a whale when you go out whale watching. I worked on a whale watching boat for 2 years. The captain could see a footprint from over 100 yards off. You can see a breach from over 100 yards off. Now, as for hitting the whales, okay, somebody sent me a comment about a whale breaching, and a little girl died and the boat was damaged when he breached up on the boat. Okay, first of all, the boat was stationary. Stationary, wasn't moving. The whale breached. The boat didn't hit the whale hit the boat. Your concerns are about the Super Ferry hitting a whale. And we have a helicopter flying around right now. That's our sky crew again. We have this concern about the whales, okay? Again, the boat did not move. The whale breached into the boat. That captain should have been stripped of his license, okay? Cows, when they give birth, are very protective of their babies. They have been known to breach up under boats like that to protect their babies. Bulls come here to mate, and in the throes of mating frenzy, they will breach onto each other and they will slam onto each other. Okay, so it's not a case of the boat hitting the whale. It's the whale a lot of times accidentally or intentionally hitting the boat. Okay, now, invasive species. Okay, so we're talking about coqui frogs. We're talking about animals that have diseases here that you don't have on the outer islands. It's very doubtful that these little things will actually make it over there in one piece and alive. Somebody told me that honeybees have a certain disease over here that the honeybees on your islands don't have, and you have a lot of honey crops or honey harvest that you're concerned about. It's very doubtful that a bee can get stuck in a tread tire or stuck in a car without us even knowing and make it over there alive after 4 hours out in the sun, stuck in a car. As for the coqui frogs, okay, we didn't bring those animals over to your island. That was brought over by Young Brothers, who probably got their shipment from Matson. Okay, that's another point. Why is it that you're requiring these guys to get an EIS when, again, the other shipping companies have never had to bring an EIS to the table? Never. As for people stealing, I got news for you folks. There are just as many criminals on the outer islands as there are on this island. Watch Dog the Bounty Hunter and you'll see them on the Big Island chasing down criminals. And they didn't get there on the Super Ferry either. Okay? A super ferry is probably going to kill itself just because it's too expensive. Let things go the way they are and they'll be gone maybe. If not, it might be the most convenient way for all of you to come to this island and see what there is over here. A lot of you talk about cultural this and cultural that. This island has a very rich culture as well. Come down and experience it. I'd love you to come here. As for us going to your islands, again, it's a comfortable and easy way for us to go to Kauai, to visit our cousins and our family over there, to go to Maui, Molokai, and all the other islands. I don't know what the deal is. Now the last part that I'd like to talk about are these protesters. Okay, now I understand that a lot of people have lumped them together with you. What it is you got a bunch of these punks that moved over there and all of a sudden they don't want change. These are newcomers to Hawaii. I'm not going to mention race or anything. I'm just going to lump them in generally. You can get mad at me for that later. Okay, generally these newcomers come over here and they buy these expensive homes and they turn around and say, hey, we can't have all these people coming over here. Well, they are all those people coming over here. They're there. And they go out there and they protest and they get all you Hawaiians and all you Kama'aina out there energized, and you come over there and you start getting mixed in. And then they get you to go in the water on canoes and on surfboards and boogie boards to block a ferry. In so doing, you're going into a very, very dangerous shipping lane. In this time of our fight against our war on terrorism, the shipping areas are always on red alert. You get into the water in the wrong spot, you get arrested. I'm sorry to hear that 11-year-old kids got arrested. All these underage kids got arrested. I'm sorry to hear about that. It's a terrible thing. But at the same time, where were the parents? Parents know better. These kids don't have a full sense of having a mind of their own. They don't know the consequences to having a mind of their own. Where were the parents in all of this? It's called reckless endangerment of a minor. It's sad, it's true. But in this day and age, you can't have that. You can't do that. Now, all these people flattening people's tires, okay, first of all, the First Amendment does not guarantee your right just to free speech. As a matter of fact, I got it written down over here. I can repeat it to you word for word. First Amendment reads as follows: Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people to peaceably assemble. Okay, now what part of peaceably don't you understand? You're rocking people's cars, scratching them up, banging on their cars, flattening their tires. That's not the First Amendment. That's trying to incite a riot. And those people who got caught on tape, I hope you get arrested. I hope you get sued. And the stupidest thing about it is, a lot of those people's cars were owned by people who, guess what, live on Kauai. I'd like to thank you all one more time for joining me today. This is the end of our show, our special show here. Tune in next week where we'll have another report, another show, and another discussion. If you have any questions or anything that you'd like to share with me, again, you can put it on the comments, or rather you can email us. Our contact information will be coming up shortly. Mahalo. Aloha, this is Matt, and you've been watching Life in Paradise on YouTube. Tune in every Friday for a new episode. Mahalo.